Okay, but what's the difference between indoor wheels and outdoor wheels? Hello, lovelies. My name is Deja, and if you follow me on Insta, you know I've been skating for about 2 years, and my goal is to get as many people on roller skates as possible. It's brought me so much joy, and I feel like I want that for everyone. So I'm going to give you the top 5 things that I wish I would have known from the beginning that would have changed my entire experience as a beginner roller skater. Hopefully this not only saves you time and money and effort, but it takes the intimidation out of it so that you can be rolling as smoothly as possible, as quickly as possible, and set you up for success so that you don't give up too soon or quit before the magic happens. Number 1, choosing the right skate. This will make or break you. It's important to make sure that they are comfortable to use, that they feel good when you put them on. It should fit like a shoe that was created perfectly for you. It should not feel painful. There should be no pinching tightness. There should be no numbness. There should be no sharp pain whatsoever. If you have a situation where one foot is going numb, where the other foot is completely normal, it might be the way that your laces are tied. Check out my video on how I like to lace my skates to make sure that I have no tongue slippage and my ankle stays nice and supported throughout my entire skate session. But if you do fix your laces and you are still experiencing numbing or painness or tightness, then it might be time to check out your boot. Your boot's going to change based upon the type of skating that you want to do. I personally love jam, rhythm. I also love artistic skating, which works really well with this type of boot. Doing something like trucking or anything in the rink, you might have a completely different shoe. But at the end of the day, what matters the most is making sure that they are properly sized. To make sure that you're choosing the right side, first put on the socks that you plan to wear with your skates. Then stand on a piece of paper and trace your foot with a pencil. Next, you're going to measure the length of your foot from the longest toe to the heel of your foot, using a ruler or a tape measure. Next, you're just going to want to check out the size chart that skate manufacturers usually have on their website to help you determine the size of your foot. Most skates that I've come across are sized in men's, so as long as you're keeping that in mind, it's just crucial to make sure that you get the right fit, because the wrong skate will have you out here thinking that skating is not for you, and it is. Tip number 2 is going to be choosing the right wheels. It's another game changer for your entire skate experience. If you have the wrong wheels, you might not enjoy skating. So for example, if you have outdoor wheels and you are using them indoors, what you might find is that the ground is super slippery, especially if it's smooth concrete or something like a rink, and it's kind of hard to control your skates. On the opposite end, if you put indoor skates on and you skate outside, you're going to find that you're able to feel every bump, every crack in the road, and it might start to feel painful. And that's mainly because those wheels do not have enough surface area and they're not gummy enough to absorb that shock. Choosing the right wheels is super important. A lot of times I hear new skaters ask, do I get indoor skates or outdoor skates? The great thing is your skates can be indoor or outdoor, all depending on your wheels. So if you know that you're going to be skating somewhere where the concrete is smooth or polished, or in your skate rink, you can have wheels that are nice and round and hard that are going to be perfect for that. But if you know that you're going to be doing a trail skate or skating outside, then you make sure to have your outdoor wheels on. Choosing the right wheels for the type of terrain that you're going to be skating on can really factor into you having a good time or not. The durometer number is a measure of hardness. The lower the number, the softer the wheel. The harder the number, the harder the wheel. This wheel is rounder and smaller, meaning we'd use this indoors. It can take corners. This wheel is larger and softer, meaning we're going to run these bad boys outside. Number 3 is finding places to skate. I always get asked, how do you find these cool places to skate? 2 things. 1, I'm delusional and I keep my skates on me. And the other is you just have to get a little bit creative. Facebook meetup groups. Honestly, I met one of my best friends under our roller skating. We literally found each other through that subreddit and we started skating together. I'd also check out your local community centers. When I first started skating, there's a few local community centers around me that actually already had a skate day where they allowed us to come in and skate on the basketball courts. I would check out your local community center. If they don't have one, maybe make a suggestion. Hey, can we start a skate night? That way you have a place to skate that's not super crowded. It's covered from the weather elements, but a smooth, flat surface is always going to be ideal. I actually did a lot of my initial skating when I was first learning on a tennis court. As long as you're humble and polite, I've had no problems whatsoever at a tennis court. I'm not even gonna cap. If there's tennis court players playing there, hey, I know that this is your lane. I won't skate there. But as soon as they leave, I'm hitting the pavement. If there's tennis players who come and they want to play a game, I have no problem taking off. I was borrowing it anyway. You'd be surprised at how far you can get by 1, being polite, and 2, playing dumb. If there's a sign there that says no, don't come for me. Act like you didn't see it. You're not hurting anything, I promise you. And people will be like, oh, but what about the floors? It's fine. I promise you it's fine, especially if you live in a place like Nashville that's constantly being eaten up by hot and cold weather and potholes everywhere. Trust me, your roller skates are not hurting the ground. The point is, don't overthink skate spots and keep your skates in your trunk. That way you can take advantage of skate spots that you find. I have found the most incredible time thing. I was never going to see it again. And if I hadn't had my skates, then it wouldn't have happened. So keep them on you. Tip number 4, understanding balance and what your body is actually doing on skates. As a beginner, we usually have no frame of reference of what skating is. So we end up doing that like Frankenstein walk where we can't really get a footing and we're kind of just like stomping around. To avoid doing that, it's important to pay attention to what your body is doing on skates, where your weight is shifting, where it is transferring. Really think about it when you're standing up on your skates. Okay, what is my body doing? What is happening right now? I have a video of some dry drills that you can do off skates that can start to help you get a feel for what is happening. Knowing what your body is doing makes it so that you kind of build that relationship and you know what to expect when you're on skates. If I had learned that sooner, I would have been swirling smoothly from the beginning, just kind of going at it. I was never really paying attention to what happens when I shift here. What happens when I lean back here? What happens when I push my weight to my outside edges? What happens when I push my weight inside edges? Getting familiar with what your body is doing by paying attention to it is literally going to launch you into the stratosphere. You are gliding. You are shifting your weight from one side to the other side. We're not stepping. Get clued in. Get tuned in to your body. Number 5, while I do think that having a good skate is the most important part of your skate journey, you definitely don't need an expensive pair of skates as much as you need to know how to maintain your skates and adjust your trucks. The reason why it's important to make sure that your boot is comfortable is just because basically everything can be changed except for that part. If this is the skate that you're going to rock with, then it needs to feel good to you. But being able to adjust your trucks means that you can change how your skates feel when it comes to making turns and transitions. When it comes to shifting your weight or how much you have to shift, all of that is determined by your trucks. Check out my video on how to adjust your trucks right out of the box. I cannot emphasize enough how much your trucks will be a game changer once you learn what feels good to you and how to dial them in. But the sooner that you get started playing around with your trucks, the sooner you get to rolling smoothly. Bonus, last but certainly not least, as fun as it is, roller skating is still very much exercise. It can be physically demanding on the body, especially if proper preparation is not taken. And that's where dynamic stretching comes in. Dynamic stretching is a type of stretching that involves movement and active stretching, as opposed to static stretching, which involves holding a stretch in one position. So we're actually moving our body as we're stretching it. I like to stretch before I go to the rink. I like to stretch before my skate sessions. And I like to do dynamic stretches to make sure that my muscles are warmed up and they're prepared for what I'm about to do. I was already working out a few years before I started roller skating, and I would be lying if I didn't say the range of motion and the mobility that I have that has come from stretching over the years didn't make me a better roller skater, because it definitely did. They helped with my flexibility, my agility. All of that has come from making sure that I'm stretching not only before skating, but after skating. Again, my goal is to get as many people roller skating as possible. So I also have a video on pre-skate stretches and post-skate stretches that you can check out at any point in time and incorporate them into your practice routine. I've given you a lot of information. I know it, but I just want you to be as prepared as possible. If you'd like a deeper dive, one-stop shop, you can also check out my roller skating course that is linked in the bio. Again, it's breaking down everything that you need to know as a beginner to get rolling and smoothly within the next 30 days. My goal is for you to be cold by summertime, okay? We're gonna get you there. Okay, that's it. I hope this helps. I will see you in the next one, friends.